Is it veteran rest days for guys like Tyler and Rob? And
Yep, it is, and that's kind of the second day of those 4-day blocks that I've kind of talked to you guys about. Will represent that for those guys that you just mentioned.
How much is Rob cleared to do now after those cleanouts?
Oh, he's good. I mean, he's fully cleared. But when you talk about, and this has been consistent with guys that are, as experienced as he is, did it with Whitworth, when he first got here. And so when you look at the longevity of the season, how much work that he's accumulated, the goal is similar to what I was telling you guys about with Matthew and those guys that kind of fall under that bucket that you asked about, Adam, is let's keep them as fresh as possible. They still need to be able to get their work in, but because of this, the overall body of work and the amount of reps that they've accumulated, I feel like this is the the best approach. And then it also offers an opportunity for us to be able to get some other guys some reps with some of those first groups and see their level of competition and ability to be able to operate.
Is there a balance when you're deciding who takes the veteran rest day on which day, or does that not matter?
Oh yeah, with how we're situated, most of these guys are on offense just because usually if you want to say where is that kind of threshold, it's usually going into year 10 or more. We try to make it consistent where, the rapport for our offensive guys that we project to be able to play together as much as possible. If they were from similar position groups, like let's just say if we end up getting to that point with DJ Humphreys, then we would stagger it with he and Rob so that our tackle position isn't too thin. But because each of those guys is from a different position group, it's kind of, it suits itself well to be able to just say, let's use that second day of the 4-day block, to give those guys a little bit of a breather.
What have you seen from Puka so far, and what kind of ideally would you like to see from him by the time the season starts?
I just think continue to improve. I mean, I've loved just the way that this guy comes in and goes to work, Gary. He's a stud. He's got such a great demeanor every single day. Obviously, the competitive toughness that he plays with. Even yesterday, we're just getting, ourselves a little bit more comfortable. I thought today was a step in the right direction, but he's so mentally resilient. He's always looking for the opportunity to be able to respond if things don't go the right way, and he stays humble when things are going well. So all I'm looking for is for him to just continue to progress. One of my favorite things that I've seen is just watching he and Devontae, mix it up and just talk about their craft. But he's a total stud. I think just by the nature of how he works, you can't help but get better, and I love everything that this guy's about, and then I think he's done a really good job of, as he's going into year 3, learning how to establish a rhythm and routine that's going to give him the best chance to stay healthy, stay available. Some of those things are out of our control, but what is in his control, I'm seeing him do a great job of just continuing to mature and take steps in the right direction.
What's it like having? How was the backup quarterback looking?
They've done really well. I've always, you guys have heard me talk about it. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a starting quarterback. Obviously, we feel so fortunate to have somebody like Matthew leading the way, but Jimmy's done a great job. I think he's shown good command the first couple days. I've always thought he was a high caliber player, and I think it offers an opportunity for Stetson to get some good work that he wouldn't get otherwise. And so, looking towards the preseason, expect us to take a similar approach in regards to Jimmy will probably not play, and that'll give Stetson a chance. And I think for him to be able to get these reps right now will serve him well for when those games come around.
With Kevin Dotson, what's it like just having somebody with his personality on the team, and how do you see that positively impact everyone else?
Yeah, he's just got this enjoyment for coming out here, and he's got a great vibe. I mean, whether it's shooting jump shots on air after we score, but he's got this he's just got a great energy about himself. He's obviously a really productive player, but I think as he's gotten more and more comfortable, when we traded for him in the 23 season, he comes in, late in the, the part of training camp where kind of getting comfortable, starts to make himself, his presence felt in the Indianapolis game. And, he's just gotten more and more comfortable. Guys love him, when you're around a guy that's got that kind of vibe, and then there's that physical toughness, his ability to do some special things. We love K-Dot, and all his teammates love him as well.
Sean, what is the vibe between Tyler Higbee and Terrence Ferguson? You obviously play a role in bringing him in here, and how do you mesh these two guys together when Higbee is still your guy, he's still going to be playing, he's so productive, but the young guy's waiting in the wings?
Oh yeah, well, I think the special thing about Tyler Higbee, he's a glue guy. It's why he's revered and respected by his teammates and by his coaches, because this guy is all about elevating people, and he knows that by doing that, he's going to elevate himself. I've watched him really just lead that room ever since I've been here, and then watching him continue to mature as a player, as a person, most importantly, he's special. I remember, I called him before we ended up taking Terrence, and he's like, I can't wait to help this guy continue to grow, take him under my wing, and that's exactly what he's done. But that's where you talk about real secure leaders know that when I bring people with me, I think good stuff comes back to me, and we're going to need all those guys. I think it's a really good tight end room as a whole, and I'm excited for Scott Huff to lead the way, but he certainly knows how lucky he is to have a guy like Tyler Higbee as a veteran leader in that room.
Coach, you've admired Davante Adams from afar. Now that you have him in the building, what impresses you the most?
Oh man, I think it's just the consistency of his approach. I don't know that there's so many things that do impress me. I don't know that one thing stands out. I think it's just his consistent approach every single day, whether that's in the meetings, whether that's his football acumen, his ability to be able to correct and understand things in real time. There's so many different things that you can do with a player of his magnitude, and really similar to what I was saying about Higbee, his willingness to pour into his teammates. I think those special guys, they elevate people around them, and we've got a couple of those guys that fall into that bucket, and certainly Davante is one of them, and he's special, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to continue to work with him and learn from him as well.
Hugo was talking about how it's great to see Davante on the field, but where he's really learned from him is in the meeting room, where Davante can explain how and why he did something. In those settings, how have you seen Davante kind of help everyone?
He's special. He's got just such a big picture understanding. In a lot of instances, reminds you of Cooper's football acumen, where these guys look at the game through the lens of a quarterback. They understand coverage contours, they understand timing, rhythm, route distribution, and there's a lot of experience. And then there's an understanding of the craft in and of itself with how you work edges, how you separate, how you're able to try to be able to regain leverage even if you're in an unfavorable spot. And whether it's out here, you listen to those guys talk. I mean, I heard Puka talk about yesterday. I wanted to be able to let him go first so I can watch him and feel that live and in person. But then his willingness to share, even I'm not always in their meeting rooms, but when I am, I'm so impressed. But then when you hear Eric Yarber and Nate Shieldhouse and Rob Calabrese just talk about his ability to communicate, his understanding of how to communicate in a clear way that guys can digest it and understand and then ultimately translate it. It's some special stuff. I'm glad he doesn't want to coach because he'd take our jobs.
A couple more guys. Sean Emmanuel Forbes made a couple of nice plays. What have you seen from him from both a physical and mental standpoint this offseason to get ready for the
game? I've been really pleased with him. We talked about him a lot in the spring. A guy that did a great job in the weight room of being able to put on some weight to be able to play this game while also not losing the functional movement and some of the things that have made him a guy that was a first-round pick. I think Aubrey does such a great job. Justin Lovett's done a great job of helping him, and he came back in the same type of shape. He's at a good weight that we feel like is functional. I think he's really picked up where he left off in regards to you feel a lot of the plays, you feel an understanding of some of the things that we're asking, where do his play ops come about within the framework of the scheme. And then ultimately, like we talked about, these settings, I think our guys are really doing a great job of understanding how to practice, how to push the tempo, but this isn't real football right now. It'll be closer to that when we actually put the pads on, but been really pleased with Emmanuel and really been pleased with that group as a whole on the back end. I think Aubrey, Coach Beek, and Mike Harris, they've done such a great job. I thought they had a great energy today, and you could feel that on the field.
Articles have been written about expectations of the season for you guys. Number one in the NFC, some people saying in the Super Bowl. Do you read things like that? How do you process it when you sort of see that the team has high expectations?
Yeah, I think the consistency of our approach is important. I think when you look at it, you appreciate the respect, but you also know it really has nothing to do with what's going to happen when the season kicks off. And what's great about the NFL is people care about writing about those types of things, but we try to stay inside out as much as possible, whether it's nobody has any expectations or whether people have expectations. All that stuff goes out the window once you play real football. We're trying to stack days right now, and been a part of where you exceed them, been a part of where you don't live up to them, and so we've seen both ends of it, and we know that that's not real, even though there's a fun narratives to follow, and we appreciate the nice stuff, but we also know it really doesn't mean anything, and the real stuff comes into play when we play the ball games.
Any change in verse?
Last one, guys.
Well, you go ahead.
What, other than him still talking and you can't hear him shut up ever? I love him. I mean, he is never shutting up, but he's got a relentless energy. I think he's understanding, how to be able to use that to his advantage. Continuing to mature. Where you talk about, you used to hear Aaron Donald talk about the controlled aggression, and how consistent can he be He's got these unbelievable plays. I had to find you in a meeting for that right there. I'm just
Sorry.
kidding right there.
Sorry, Coach.
But he's been great, and he's very coachable. You know, Joe Caniglio has really high standards for him. He has high standards for himself. He is getting better, but he's also very coachable when we don't do things that are what we expect. But I love the guy's approach, love his energy, and you know, he's a hard guy not to like being around. Okay? Thanks, guys.
What's up?
I'll start us off.
So how do training camp workouts compare to workouts with Aaron Donald?
I do these every day of the week, 2 times a day. No doubt about it. That workout was psychotic. I'm never doing that again. He did change my workout routine, though. Now my workouts don't hit no more, so I had to go a little harder.
Today, practice team defense was flying around. What would you say overall the team's energy was today?
That's how we are. That's how our defense is. Our defense is loud. We really get after it, everything like that. Our offense was definitely making the plays. Puka was definitely catching that ball across the middle, doing some big plays, so we're going to have to fix that. But, that's how we is as a defense.
Is there any goals you have for yourself in year 2?
Be me. Be the best version of me. That's all that matters. Whatever helps the team is what's helping me.
How much more comfortable do you feel in year 2 now?
I feel like this is like home. Like I'm not nervous. I'm not worried I'm going to mess up. If I mess up, we move on to the next play. If I don't, I got a sack. So that's as simple as that.
Last year at this time, were you concerned about that, about just trying to do everything right and not make mistakes?
I think that's a rookie kind of idea, mindset. You know, you go out in there, you don't want to mess up, you want to make the plays, but then, you know, we had OTAs beforehand. I think I kind of got all that out the way in OTAs.
Mm-hmm. Was there a moment when you realized, like, it's okay, I can feel comfortable here?
No, I think it's just kind of like a natural thing. I think it was literally after the first day, you know, when Sean got in my face, kind of was like, hey, you can't act like that. That's not how it is. I kind of calmed down that second day. It just felt like home, like I didn't really have too much to answer.
Jared, I just asked Aaron about that workout a couple days ago. He gave you mad props, by the way. He said you hung. Can you describe, just from the beginning to the end, what that was like for you?
Matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly what the hell we did. I show up. It's like 11 in the morning. I'm thinking we got like an hour workout. I got plans after. I got things I got to do throughout the day. I was planning on watching film and everything like that. We show up. He doesn't say hi and nothing like that. He sees me. He's like, come on. Gives me a little dap up. We walk inside. He's like, stretch how you have to. I stretch. We do 4. Everything he does is like a circuit. We do 4 workouts. It's all cardio. Versa climber, bike. What was it? Lunges and core. 4 rounds each. You do all that. You're already tired. You're kind of like, oh my God, whatever. Then you do 4 sets of core, 2 different workouts. So it's like 8 different workouts, 4 sets each. You do all that for 4 sets. You go through. He's like, "Are you ready for the real workout?" I'm like, "Bro, I've been here for 45 minutes. What are you talking about?" We go to the weight room. It's all arms. That's why he's big as hell. We go to the weight room. It's like 8 different circuits, all arms, 4 sets each. I'm there for an hour and a half. His wife came in laughing at me. I told her to call the police. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. I told her to call the police. She wouldn't do it. I tried to lie and say my mom was at my house and I had to go let her in. He told me to give my keys to his management or assistant or something. They would go let my mom in. So I wasn't leaving. Finished the workout. I'm like dead tired. I'm exhausted. I had a plan to go jump in the sauna afterwards. Didn't happen. Had plans to watch film. Didn't happen. Went home and I didn't work out for another day and a half because I couldn't move my body.
Is it mind blowing that he still does that every day?
He needs to stay away from me, and the security sees him on property. They need to take care of him.
Once you did fully recover from that, what sorts of things did you take from those workouts and add to your own?
Oh, it was definitely the mindset that you gotta keep going. The one thing he kept saying throughout the whole workout, he doesn't really show too much in the video. Think of the 4th quarter. Everyone's good, the first and the second, third, but what about the 4th? That's where you make your money. That's where you make your money. He kept saying, he's saying it loud and proud. He was talking like me. I was like, damn, man, okay. I guess there's levels to this shit.
How impactful is that mentorship for you, to have that kind of
it was insane. Forget the media and everything like that. I would have done that just me and him. It was insane to see that's the level it takes to kind of be in the discussions of best player, defensive player ever, best player ever. So to know that's kind of the level I have to reach on a consecutive basis, that's what I'm striving for now.
Was it eye-opening?
It was definitely eye-opening, easily.
Jared, after pushing your muscles to the brink, how have you pushed your mind and your mentality to the brink during the offseason?
Yeah, Corey Simon, he was an FSU football player way back when, played in the league too. He told me right when we got out of after our Eagles game, he said, "Hey, you had a good season. Congratulations on all you've done, everything like that. Go watch the whole season, not just your good plays, the bad plays." So I've watched every game probably about 3-4 times each, just watching everything I've done wrong, everything I've done right, and you realize how many bad plays you had with all the accolades and all that stuff. You realize how much better you can grow. And don't let your head get too high. Because now I'm thinking of how much better I can get people oh, you're good. No, I got so much farther to go.
Is there any play that stands out or any game that stands out in particular?
The Buffalo game. Now, they definitely found my weakness in that game, and I definitely made sure that's not a problem no more.
Is anyone sticking out to you offensively or defensively first couple days of camp?
Puka's a psychopath. Defensively, I think our secondary, they are locking everything up. They're giving us time to get back there. We have, honestly, we have minutes to get back there. Like they're locking everything up on a consecutive basis. So knowing that we have that in the back end, and like I can kind of take not everything has to be a bull rush immediately in there, try to get pressure, and I have time to actually work my own rushes. That's definitely helpful.
What's been your impression of David Questenberry and DJ Humphries now that you've gone against them the last couple of days?
They're definitely vets. They know what they're doing. They're really savvy. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to kind of play with your mind, everything like that. They know our strengths, our weaknesses. So they try to take advantage of that. But that definitely helps you reach another level.
How much pressure do you put on yourself?
I'm sorry, you said what?
How much pressure do you put on yourself knowing you're the face of the defense for the Los Angeles Rams?
I got 10 other guys on the field with me that make up anything with me. If I mess up, I know 10 other guys going to be hustling that ball to make up for it. I mean, even like just take away yesterday, I ended up taking a move I shouldn't have taken. I was able to get reached. I made them bubble a little bit. That's not what our defense is about. We had everybody come in, Cam Curl come in, tap off, gain of 2. I'll take that any day of the week.
I saw this offseason you said you think about that Eagles game a lot. Do you think about week 3 and getting to play them again?
I think about the next day. I'm not worried about week 3. I'm not worried about week 1. I'm not worried about week 2. I'm not worried about any preseason games, any joint practices. I'm worried about tomorrow.
Sure. Now that this is your second season, are you giving any of the rookies any advice or kind of walking them through anything to help them out?
My knowledge is limited. I've only been here a year, but I try to give them everything I do know. Anything that can help them, anything that can help them feel a little bit more confident. I know how it is to kind of feel on the edge when you first get here, not making any mistakes.
In the effort to get incrementally better, how did you improve today?
Today, my biggest improvement was kind of like working the edge a little bit more. Yesterday, I was taking a lot of inside moves. I was working on my counters. Today, I wanted to work the edge a little bit more, and it worked really well with the defensive scheme we had going in.
How have you prepared for this training camp versus the first, your rookie year? Any difference?
I think my rookie year, I was so mentally like, got to pound it. This is a grind. It's a long 17-game season. We're trying to go a lot longer than 17 games, so I can't push myself too much harder. I was getting after it, but I still was able to take a little step back, realize, hey, not every day needs to be, the grand finale.
Anything else? Thanks,
Perfect.
Thank you.